Hello and welcome. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed it's getting a little harder to open that pickle jar? Or maybe you have to give yourself a little push to get up from your favorite armchair, especially if it's a low one? Many of us just shrug. Well, I'm just getting older. We accept it as a normal part of life. But what am I told you? It's not just getting older. What if it's a specific reversible condition that has a name? It's called sarcopenia, and it's the medical term for age-related muscle loss, and the simple, powerful key to fighting it. Well, it's probably already in your kitchen. Let's do a quick check. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Be honest with yourself. Hello and welcome. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed it's getting a little harder to open that pickle jar? Or maybe you have to give yourself a little push to get up from your favorite armchair, especially if it's a low one? Many of us just shrug. Well, I'm just getting older. We accept it as a normal part of life. But what am I told you? It's not just getting older. What if it's a specific reversible condition that has a name? It's called sarcopenia, and it's the medical term for age-related muscle loss, and the simple, powerful key to fighting it. Well, it's probably already in your kitchen. Let's do a quick check. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Be honest with yourself.
1. In the last 6 to 12 months, have you noticed that your arms and legs look thinner or just feel less substantial, even if your body weight on the scale has stayed the same? 2. When you climb a flight of stairs, do you find yourself breathless after just one flight, reaching for the handrail when you never used to? And 3. Try this test called the sit-to-stand test. Can you sit in a regular chair and stand up all the way, then sit back down 5 times in a row in under 10 seconds without using your hands? If you answered yes to even one of those, it might be an early signal of sarcopenia. This is the gradual, silent loss of your muscle tissue. And when it starts, it can be difficult to reverse, making everyday life feel harder and harder. But here's the good news. If you catch it early, you can absolutely fight it. And if you watch this video to the end, I promise you, anyone can learn how to solve this. But if you ignore these signals, the research is clear. In the next 10 years, you could lose another third of your remaining muscle mass. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, this triples your risk of a serious fall or fracture. It opens the door to type 2 diabetes, as muscle is what manages your blood sugar. It weakens your immune system. And ultimately, it can rob you of your independent life, forcing you to rely on others for simple things. It's the future we all fear. But it does not have to be your future. If you start managing this today, you can change that trajectory. In today's video, we'll explore the real reason this muscle loss happens, and I'll reveal 5 treasure foods that are often even richer in protein than eggs. And most importantly, I'll share a golden meal plan that can help you feel stronger, more stable, and more energetic in as little as 1 month. I'll even include a few simple tips on how to prepare these foods. Hello, I'm Dr. Aris. For years, my work has focused on helping people navigate the changes that come with aging, specifically in musculoskeletal health. And in my practice, I've seen a very strange pattern. So many of my clients in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are doing everything right. They've seen the headlines. They take their vitamin D, they get their B12, they go for long walks, they even do yoga. But they still come to me and say, "Doc, I just feel weak. I feel frail. Why am I getting weaker?" The answer, almost every single time, is that they are not using protein correctly. Are you thinking, "But I eat 2 eggs every morning for breakfast. I must be fine, right?" Here's the hard truth. For anyone over 50, 2 eggs is barely a down payment, It is woefully inadequate. So what should you be eating? And how much? I'm going to explain all of it today. Please, don't just resign yourself to getting old. When you know the method, you can change the outcome. A life where you feel younger and stronger is possible. If you want to get that vitality back, please take a moment to click like and subscribe. And if you have a family member or a friend who is struggling with weakness, share this video with them. It could be a turning point. Have you ever been at a crosswalk and the little green light starts flashing red? Do you feel a surge of panic, wondering if you'll make it to the curb in time? Maybe just last year you could walk it easily, but now it feels like a race you can't win. It's a frustrating, disheartening feeling. Why does this happen? Is it just a number? Absolutely not. I have a client, an 85-year-old gentleman. He walks confidently across every street and climbs 3 flights of stairs to his apartment every single day. But what's amazing is that just 1 year ago, he was a completely different person. He told me he'd been stuck on a crosswalk more than once. He'd have to stop and rest halfway up that first flight of stairs. But then, we changed his diet, following the exact principles I'm about to share with you. After just 1 month, he was a new man. He could walk across the street with confidence. The stairs were no longer a problem. And you know what happened? He got his confidence back. He started going out more. He went to the grocery store more often. He started taking daily walks in the park. This created what we call a virtuous cycle. Because he moved more, he built more strength. And with more strength, he had more energy. He looked and felt younger every single day. Now, he's even started going for short hikes. You can do this too. So what was the secret that changed my client's life? It was getting protein the right way. Why is protein the magic key? Because it is the raw material, the literal bricks and lumber for your muscles. You need muscle for every basic movement. Walking, climbing stairs, getting out of a chair. But here's the part most people don't know. Your muscle is not just an engine for movement. It is your body's health savings account. It's your 401k for wellness. Your muscles are a storage warehouse for protein. When you get sick, have an infection, or undergo surgery, your body needs extra protein to heal and repair damaged tissue. Where does it get it? It makes a withdrawal from your muscle bank. If your bank account is full, you recover quickly. If your bank account is empty, a simple illness can become a catastrophe. Muscles also store your body's energy, glucose. They are the single largest consumer of calories in your body. And research from Harvard Medical School shows that older adults with higher muscle mass have a significantly lower mortality rate from all causes and recover faster from illness. Muscle is the key to a healthy, resilient life. But here is the tragedy. If you do nothing, that muscle bank account just drains. After age 30, you lose about 0.5% a year. After 50, it speeds up to 1% a year. And after 70, it can be as high as 3% per year. Do the math. Between age 70 and 80, you could lose up to 30% of your total muscle mass. But here is the single most important thing I will tell you today. The problem is even worse than that. When you lose 30% of your muscle mass, that's sarcopenia, you lose up to 90% of your muscle strength. That's called dynapenia. Let me say that again. Your muscle size might go from 100 down to 70, but your power, the force that engine can produce, plummets from 100 down to 10. This is why all of a sudden you can't open the jar. This is why your legs feel wobbly on the stairs. This is why you feel frail. It's a terrifying, vicious cycle. Less strength makes walking feel unstable. So you become afraid of falling and you go out less. Because you move less, your muscles shrink even faster. Your health savings account is now overdrawn. This is when the real dangers appear. Falls, fractures, and chronic diseases. This leads to a bedridden life, a total loss of independence, and a shortened health span. We must break this cycle. We have to protect our muscle. So how do we do it? Just like a bank account, if you're only making withdrawals, you'll go broke. You have to make deposits. But this is where most people get it wrong. What do you think is the most important thing for building muscle? Most people say exercise, and exercise is critical, it's true. But exercising without eating the right amount of protein is like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in the bottom. It's like hiring a team of the world's best carpenters, exercise, but failing to order any lumber or bricks, protein. The carpenters show up, but they have nothing to build with. So, how much lumber do we need? The standard rule used to be about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. So, a 150-pound, 68 kilos person would need 68 grams. But, and this is key, research in the last decade has shown that after 50, we develop something called anabolic resistance. This just means our body gets less efficient at turning protein into muscle. The on switch gets rusty. To overcome this resistance, we need more protein. The current recommendation from geriatric specialists is 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram. Let's make that simple. A good rule of thumb for anyone over 50 is to aim for 0.5 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of your body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you need between 75 and 105 grams of protein every single day. Remember those 2 eggs for breakfast? That's about 12 grams. You're not even close. To hit 90 grams, you would need to eat 15 eggs every day. That's overwhelming, right? That's why so many people fail. But don't worry. I am now going to show you the 5 powerhouse foods that make hitting this number easy and delicious. Or part 2 as main content, the 5 treasure foods, 1-3. So that 75 to 105 gram goal feels impossible with just eggs. But it's surprisingly easy when you know which protein-dense foods to use. These are the treasure foods that give you the most protein for the smallest portion. Iron out treasure food. Number 1, the comeback kid, cottage cheese. You are going to be surprised by this first one. Many of you might remember this as a diet food from the 1970s, usually served with a pineapple ring, but modern science has shown it's a true powerhouse for muscle health. I'm talking about cottage cheese. Why is it so good? A single 1-cup serving can pack 25 grams of high-quality protein. That's more than 4 eggs. But here's the real secret, and it's something researchers at the Mayo Clinic are very interested in. Cottage cheese contains 2 types of protein, whey and casein. You've probably heard of whey. It's fast-acting and floods your muscles with amino acids right away. But casein is the real hero for us. It's a slow-digesting protein. This means it releases those muscle-building blocks into your system over several hours. Why does this matter? It helps prevent muscle breakdown while you sleep. Think of it as a night shift construction crew for your body, repairing and protecting your muscle mass. And like the original script mentioned with dried fish, cottage cheese is packed with leucine. Leucine is the specific amino acid that acts like the on switch for muscle building. Remember that anabolic resistance we talked about? That rusty switch? Leucine is the oil that makes it work again. Without enough leucine, all the other protein you eat can't be used to build muscle. Just make sure you choose a plain, low-sodium version. And you don't have to eat it with fruit. My favorite tip, use it as a savory base. Blend it with a little olive oil and herbs for a high-protein dip, or stir a 1/2 cup into your scrambled eggs to make them incredibly creamy and double the protein. Treasure food. 2. The humble superfood, lentils. This next one is a staple in some of the healthiest, longest-lived communities in the world. The blue zones in Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California. It's the humble lentil. A single cooked cup contains about 18 grams of protein and a massive 16 grams of fiber. This is a critical combination. The protein provides the building blocks, while the fiber helps manage your blood sugar, which is essential for sustained energy. The original script I analyzed praised lentils for 3 key reasons, and it's 100% correct. 1. They are easy to cook. Unlike other dried beans, lentils don't need to be soaked overnight. They cook in just 15 to 20 minutes. 2. They are easy to digest. Their specific structure tends to cause less gas and bloating than other legumes. 3. They have a great, earthy taste, not a beany one. This makes them incredibly versatile. Lentils are also loaded with folate, iron, and potassium, which are vital for heart health, energy, and preventing anemia. Because they are so low on the glycemic index, they are a perfect food for anyone managing diabetes or prediabetes. How to use them? You can make a classic lentil soup or add them cold to salads. But my favorite hidden method is to replace half of the ground meat in any recipe, like chili, spaghetti sauce, or tacos, with cooked brown or green lentils. You will barely notice the difference in taste, but you'll have dramatically increased the fiber and nutrient content of your meal. Treasure food. 3. The probiotic powerhouse, Greek yogurt. This is the one you might have been expecting, but its power can't be overstated. I'm talking about plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. This is not the same as regular yogurt. To make Greek yogurt, they strain away the liquid whey, the watery part. This process does two things. It removes some of the sugar, lactose, and, more importantly, it concentrates the protein. A typical serving has 17 to 20 grams of protein, nearly double that of regular yogurt. This makes it incredibly filling and a perfect breakfast or snack. Like cottage cheese, it's rich in that all-important leucine. But Greek yogurt has an additional benefit. Probiotics. These are the live, beneficial bacteria that support your gut health. A healthy gut is essential for absorbing all the nutrients you're eating. It doesn't matter how much protein you eat if your body can't absorb it properly. A healthy gut microbiome, supported by foods like Greek yogurt, also lowers inflammation and dramatically boosts your immune system. For older adults who are more susceptible to illness, this is a non-negotiable benefit. It's soft, easy to digest, and also provides a great dose of calcium for your bone health. The key is to buy plain, unsweetened. The flavored versions are often packed with more sugar than a candy bar. If you want to sweeten it, add a handful of berries and maybe a tiny drizzle of honey or maple syrup. A recipe I love, inspired by the original script's meal plan, is what I call the strength bowl. Take 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt, stir in a spoonful of chia seeds or ground flax, top with a handful of blueberries and walnuts, and a single hard-boiled egg on the side. This is a breakfast that easily gets you over 25 grams of protein and sets you up for a day of strength. Stop. Wait for me to say continue. To part 3 to main content, the 5 treasure foods. 4-5. Treasure food. The brain and brawn builder, oily fish. The 4th food on our list is one I strongly encourage my clients to eat at least twice a week. It's oily fish, like our salmon, mackerel, sardines, and albacore tuna. The original script I studied rightly pointed out mackerel as a champion, and it's absolutely true. A small 3.5-ounce, 100 serving of mackerel gives you about 120 grams of high-quality protein. But the protein is only half the story. The treasure here is the combination of 2 other critical nutrients, omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D. Omega-3s are famous for their role in heart and brain health, but new research from the Cleveland Clinic shows they are also powerfully anti-inflammatory. This is crucial for muscle health. As we age, systemic inflammation can make our muscles resistant to growth. Omega-3s help cool that inflammation, allowing the protein you eat to do its job. And then there's vitamin D. Most Americans are deficient in this sunshine vitamin, especially older adults who spend less time outdoors. Vitamin D is essential for bone health, but it's also a key player in muscle function and strength. Mackerel and salmon are 2 of the very few foods that are packed with both. You're getting the bricks, protein, the anti-inflammatory agent, omega-3s, and the muscle function booster, vitamin D, all in one. As for price, don't feel you need to buy expensive fresh salmon. Canned salmon, canned mackerel, and even canned sardines are incredibly affordable, stable, and just as nutritious. A quick tip on cooking. As the original script wisely noted, you want to avoid high-heat frying, which can create harmful smoke. The best way? Bake it. A fantastic, easy method is called en papillote. It just means in paper. You simply take a piece of parchment paper, place your fish in the center, add lemon slices, herbs, and a drizzle of olive oil. Fold the paper up into a sealed packet and bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius, for about 15 to 20 minutes. The fish steams in its own juices, resulting in a perfectly moist, tender, and incredibly healthy meal with zero cleanup. Treasure food. Number 5, the plant-based bedrock, tofu and edamame. This last one is a nod to the Okinawan diet, a famous blue zone in Japan, where people live exceptionally long and healthy lives. Their protein cornerstone isn't meat, it's anoitwaik, specifically in the form of tofu and edamame. The original script celebrated cheonggukjang, a fermented soybean powder. Tofu and edamame are its more accessible everyday cousins here in the US. Let's start with rock extra firm tofu. A single 3.5-ounce, 100-green serving contains about 17 grams of complete protein. Complete means it has all 9 of the essential amino acids your body needs to build muscle, making it a rare superstar in the plant kingdom. It's also incredibly versatile. You can crumble it into a scramble to replace eggs, cube it and air fry it until it's crispy for salads, or blend silken tofu into a smoothie to add 15 to 20 grams of protein without any change in taste. It's inexpensive, and because it's plant-based, it's fantastic for your heart health. And don't forget, edamame, the young green soybeans. You can buy them frozen, in the pod or already shelled. A single cup of shelled edamame delivers around 18 grams of protein, and a healthy dose of fiber and, yes, that all-important muscle switch amino acid, leucine. I keep a bag in my freezer at all times. Just microwave a bowl for 2 minutes, add a tiny pinch of coarse salt, and you have a perfect afternoon snack that fights muscle loss. So there you have it, cottage cheese, lentils, Greek yogurt, oily fish, and tofu. Notice how many of these are soft, digestible, and easy to prepare. But now we get to the most important part, just eating. These foods isn't the whole solution. Remember, our goal is to overcome that anabolic resistance, that rusty on switch. To do that, it's not just what you eat, but how and when not you eat it. This is the secret that my 85-year-old client used to rebuild his strength. Just eating 90 grams of protein in one giant steak at dinner will not work. Your body simply can't use it all at once. Anything over about 30-40 grams in one sitting is likely wasted. The key is to change the timing and distribution. I'm going to explain exactly how to do that right now. Wait for me to say continue. Part 4, main content, the 4 rules and the golden meal plan. So we have our 5 treasure foods, but as I mentioned, the most critical part is the strategy. You can eat all the cottage cheese and lentils in the world, but if you don't follow these next 4 rules, you won't see the result. This is the system that turns that rusty switch for muscle growth back on. Rule number 1, stop saving your protein for dinner. This is the single biggest mistake I see. The typical American diet looks like this: a carb-heavy breakfast, cereal, toast, or a muffin, maybe 10 grams of protein, a light lunch, a salad or sandwich, maybe 20 grams, and then a huge dinner, a giant steak or chicken breast, maybe 60 grams. This is the worst possible way to build muscle. Remember, your body can only use about 30 to 40 grams of protein in one sitting. Anything extra is largely wasted. But more importantly, you failed to hit the on switch at breakfast and lunch. To build and maintain muscle, you need to hit that leucine threshold, that 25 to 30 gram minimum, at each meal. The solution is protein distribution. Instead of 10-20-60, you need to aim for 30-30-30. Distribute your protein intake evenly throughout the day. This keeps your body in a constant state of muscle repair rather than one short spike followed by 20 hours of breakdown. Rule number 2, always pair your protein with a smart carb. We've been so trained to fear carbohydrates, but for muscle building, they are protein's best friend. Here's the simple science. When you eat a smart carbohydrate, like fruit, oatmeal, brown rice, or a sweet potato, your body releases a hormone called insulin. Insulin is like a friendly doorman for your muscle cells. It unlocks the cell door and actively pulls the protein, amino acids, and energy, glucose, out of your bloodstream and into the muscle. Eating protein alone is good. Eating protein with a smart carb is dramatically better. It kickstarts the recovery and rebuilding process. Rule number 3, make it easy to digest. As we get older, our bodies naturally produce less stomach acid and fewer digestive enzymes. This makes it harder to break down and absorb nutrients from tough, complex foods. That giant, gristly steak? Your body might struggle to extract all the protein from it. This is why foods like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tofu, flaky fish, and well-cooked lentils are so powerful. They are pre-softened and easy for your body to process. Cooking meats in a stew or a slow cooker until they are tender, or even adding a high-quality protein powder to a smoothie, which is liquid and pre-digested, isn't baby food. It's smart food. It ensures that the protein you eat actually gets absorbed. Rule number 4, eat after you move. You don't need to be a bodybuilder, but you do need to challenge your muscles. This can be walking up a hill, climbing stairs, lifting grocery bags, or doing simple bodyweight squats while you watch TV. After you've challenged them, your muscles are hungry and primed for repair. This is often called the anabolic window. Try to have one of your protein-rich meals or snacks within an hour or two, after your main activity for the day. This is like giving water to a thirsty plant. It's when your body is most receptive and will use that protein with maximum efficiency. The Golden Meal Plan, a 90-gram day. Okay, so what does this look like in real life? Let me show you an easy, sample, golden meal plan that hits our 30-30-30 goal. Breakfast, total, 32 g protein, the Strength Bowl. 1 cup, 227 g of plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. Protein, 20 g. 1 hard-boiled egg sliced on top. Protein, 6. A small handful of walnuts or almonds. Protein, 6. Add a handful of berries, your smart carb, for fiber and flavor. Result: you've hit your 30-gram on switch before 10 a.m. Your body is in muscle-building mode all morning. Lunch, total, 34 g protein, the powerhouse salad. A large bed of spinach or mixed greens, 1 cup of cooked lentils, rinsed. Protein, 18 g. A handful of edamame. Protein. A sprinkle of feta cheese or sunflower seeds. Protein. Add any veggies you like, tomatoes, cucumbers, and a simple olive oil and lemon dressing. Result: a high-fiber, high-protein lunch that keeps you full and energized, with no afternoon crash. Dinner, total, 30-gram protein, the easy steamed salmon. A 4-ounce, 130 g salmon fillet baked in parchment paper. Protein, 24. A side of quinoa, a smart carb that's also a complete protein. Protein, 3. A large serving of steamed broccoli or asparagus. Result: a light, digestible, anti-inflammatory meal that delivers your final protein pulse of the day, plus vital omega-3s. Just like that, you've easily hit 96 grams of protein. You've distributed it perfectly, you've paired it with smart carbs, and every single meal was easy to digest. Final part, summary. Plus reflection, plus call to action. So, let's bring it all back together. First, that feeling of weakness in your arms or instability on the stairs is not just a birthday. It's a condition called sarcopenia, and it is something you can and must fight. Second, think of your muscle as your health savings account. It's your body's reserve of strength, your defense against illness, and your key to staying independent. Third, to protect that account, you need to make more deposits. For most of us over 50, that means increasing our protein to about 0.5 to 0.7 grams per pound of our body weight. And fourth, and most importantly, how you eat it matters more than what you eat. You must spread that protein out and aiming for at least 30 grams at breakfast, lunch, and dinner to turn on your body's muscle-building switch. The foods we talked about today, the cottage cheese, the lentils, the Greek yogurt, the oily fish, and the tofu, are just powerful, affordable, and easy-to-digest tools to help you hit that number. Music fades back in, warm and encouraging. Rebuilding your strength isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about reclaiming your independence. It's about having the confidence to play with your kids or grandkids on the floor, knowing you can get back up easily. It's about carrying your own groceries, opening your own jars, and climbing a set of stairs without a second thought. It's about walking across that crosswalk and feeling confident, stable, and strong, with plenty of time to spare. You can change this. Your body is waiting to be rebuilt. It just needs the right materials at the right time. Start with one meal. Start by changing your breakfast tomorrow. I have a question for you, and I'd love to read your answers in the comments below. Which one of these treasure foods will you try to add to your meals this week? By sharing your plan, you'll not only motivate yourself, but you'll give a great idea to someone else in this community. If you found this video helpful, and you want more simple, science-based, and trustworthy health insights to help you live a stronger, healthier life, please take a moment to subscribe and click the like button. It truly does help this message reach more people who need to hear it. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. Stay strong and be well.